From the Ear to There Travel Studio, this is the Ear to There Disney Podcast.
The Ear to There Podcast, it's time to start the show. Be sure to hold on tight, here we go. Exploring all the different Disney destinations. Ear to There, it's time to start the fun.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Ear to There Disney Podcast. I am your host, Phil Gramlich. I am also the owner and the founder of Ear to There Travel, which is a Disney specialized travel agency. It is my mission, yes, my mission in life, to take away all of that stress, all of that anxiety, and all that time that it takes to plan a Disney trip so you can focus on the really, really important things like having a great time with your family and friends and enjoying the magic. And I always like to mention that I take away all that stress, all that anxiety, and all that time for absolutely no extra charge to you. So from getting you the best possible hotel room reservation or package price, to booking your dining reservations at 180 days out, booking your fast passes at 60 or 30 days out, to getting you golf tee times, special event tickets, transportation, Disney's Magical Express, transfers to the cruise line, whatever you need, I take care of all of that for free. Yes, I am like the sampler trays at Costco. I'm free, and I don't even make you buy anything when you come into the store. I don't have a store. All right, you can find this podcast, my blog, my videos, or request a free, no obligation quote over at ear2theretravel.com. Oh, and I want to hear from you. This week, I want to know what you thought about or what you think about the show. I want to know what you thought about the last show. I want to know what you think about the show in general. If you have a question, if you have a comment, anything, head over to eartotheretravel.com/message. Send me a message. Let me know what you're thinking. For every person who sends me a message in the month of October, you will be entered into a contest to win a free candle from the Magic Candle Company. So again, send me a message, eartotheretravel.com/message. All right, like Arsenio Hall said, let's get busy. This is episode number 145 for the week of October 22nd, 2018. Now, grab a drink, grab a snack, and as a famous mouse once said, on with the show. And yes, we're going to start off this episode like I start off every other numbered episode of the show, and that is with the What About Bob segment. This is where Disney legend and retired Imagineer Bob Gurr comes on the show to answer your questions and sometimes mine. And if you don't know who Bob Gurr is, Bob designed such things as the Matterhorn in Disneyland, the Autopia, the Tomorrowland Speedway, the monorails on both coasts, the Omnimover system, Doom buggies, Main Street vehicles, the People Mover, you name it, Bob built it. And if you'd like to get a question into Bob, please call the voice line 267-551-1971, or you can leave it on the Facebook page, or you can email me at phil@eartotheretravel.com. And each week, the What About Bob segment is brought to you by the Waltland Bus Tour. Each and every month, Bob Gurr takes a group of lucky guests around Southern California with stops in Los Angeles, in Burbank, and in Glendale. You'll see all the sites in the history of the Disney company, but not all the sites, but a lot of them, but most importantly, in the life of its founder, Walt Disney. To get tickets to the Waltland Bus Tour, head over to www.waltland.com. All right, without further ado, here he is, the man who once convinced the entire world that an alien invasion was happening in Los Angeles. The one and only Bob Gurr.
It's What About Bob? Bob Gurr, the legend, creator of the Matterhorn, the monorails and the Haunted Mansion. What about Bob, the Disney legend?
All right, Bob, this one is from Matthew Thomas. He wants to know, how did you keep positive when you hit a roadblock in a project?
Oh, that was really easy. Let me put it this way. I worked with Steven Spielberg years ago on the Jurassic Park. And of course, when you're in the pre-production of a movie, you're looking at all the different ways you could do something. And of course, most of the ideas hit a roadblock immediately, several times an hour. And I was very impressed with him. I would sit there at a drafting board and he'd sketch something up. And he says, "Oh, Bob, what do you think?" And then, you had to give him the right answer. If something was not going to work and you could know the reason why, I'd say, "Well, Stephen, this is going to be problematic. Maybe you don't want to do that." And instead of digging in and saying, "Well, Bob, I want to do this," he would say, "Oh, well, if that doesn't work, oh, well, here, let's try this or let's try that." So I kind of kidded people. I says, Steven Spielberg is like the water that goes around a boulder and a river. If you were water that was rigid, you hit a boulder and you tried to pound on the boulder and get it your way, you're not going to get anywhere. But what happens if you're water and you're fluid and you come to a boulder, then the thing that stopped you, why, you just split and go around it and don't even lose a bit of your speed. I did exactly the same thing without understanding it, because whenever a so-called roadblock would come up, I'd immediately say, "Oh, well, maybe that doesn't work. Maybe that's not the course we ought to take. Look at the other ways we can do this stuff, and let's keep right on going."
Love that answer. Thank you again to Bob for answering yet another question on the show. Thank you to Matthew Thomas for sending a question in. And remember, if you have a question for Bob, you can also call the voice line. I say it all the time. I would love to include the audio in there. So 267-551-1971 is the voicemail number. Thanks so much in advance for your questions. Bob will get to them as soon as he can. And it is time for episode number 145. The jack-o'-lanterns are out. Mickey's not-so-scary Halloween party is almost every night in the Magic Kingdom. And you can't walk 20 feet without smelling a pumpkin spice latte. Yes, it's Halloween time in America. When you think Halloween, what do you think of? You think of scary. You think of scary things, scary movies. And in the case of the Disney theme parks, scary moments on attractions. Because Walt Disney World and Disneyland aren't full of scary rides per se, but they are full of attractions that have those moments. Those moments that make the hair on the back of your neck stand up. Those moments that kind of make you feel like someone's scraping their nails across a chalkboard, right? Those moments. And Walt Disney World's attractions are kind of full of them. So that's what this week's show is all about. It's all about the top 10 scary attraction moments in Walt Disney World and Disneyland. Here to talk about those moments with me is a very scary individual.
Hey!
Actually, someone who do you even like Halloween? I'm trying to think. No.
I don't really like
My
it.
wife, Ames, thank you for coming back on.
Thank you for having me. No, I like I like watching the kids,
Right.
my kids and other kids, in
But
the
like if it were up to
costumes.
you would just skip Halloween
I
altogether.
would definitely turn Halloween into like a second mini, like any other holiday that's not Halloween.
Thanksgiving part 1.
Yes. Yeah. That'll be perfect.
Yeah, because you're not somebody who enjoys being scared.
No, I'm not
Which is
into
why you're
that.
perfect for this episode, because everything scares you.
I could find any
Yeah, you're
scary
afraid of
moment
everything.
on any attraction.
It's
in
true.
Walt Disney World.
What's funny is, all right, so we're going to get into it. And I was thinking of my list, right? And I was thinking of what's scary and then what's not scary. I was
That's
going
a great question, right?
all the, yeah, right. Like what is scary to you
It's totally objective.
isn't scary to me.
Clearly.
Which everything is scary to you. By the way, I've been watching The Haunting of Hill House.
Oh, I know you have.
It's scary.
I felt like I heard one tiny snippet and I couldn't sleep for like 2 hours.
Yeah, it's sorry.
It's fine.
It's scary. It's more like in your head scary than jump scary.
Okay.
Like I fell asleep watching it last night.
You know what's
which you should
funny?
never
I don't
do.
know what's worse for me.
What?
in your head or jump. It's all terrifying.
Yeah, well, I was gonna say I fell asleep watching it last night, and it was on while I was sleeping on the couch with the dog at my feet.
Oh no! Did you wake up with it on?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh no!
I woke up with it on, and I also woke up with it in my head. And then after I took the dog out in the middle of the night and I went to sleep or tried to lay down, I just kept thinking about things. Anyway,
See, that's why I don't do that stuff to myself.
I enjoy the scare. I enjoy being scared. But anyway, not the Haunting of Hill House. That's not what I was getting to. I thought of a scary Disney movie, kind of a scary movie that is one of the most pleasant attractions ever. It's the weirdest thing. And it's Dumbo. This isn't on my list. This is just one that I thought of.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because there's not a more
there's
pleasant,
not a scary
fun,
moment. Yeah.
flying through the air, staring at Cinderella Castle
No,
moment.
it's super exciting. Yeah.
Yeah. And you're all like, you don't love that as an adult before you have kids or as a teenager. But when you have kids, that becomes like the quintessential Disney attraction to do.
Definitely.
But it's a depressing, kind of a scary movie.
No, it is. You're absolutely right.
Like we watched that with Alexa when she was like 3.
Yeah, I think in Disney actually.
No, we were actually in Hershey.
Oh, I knew we were away.
We didn't have the twins because they were really little. They were 1,
You're
maybe
right.
not even 1. And we took her to see like Disney Junior live on stage in Hershey.
Right.
And I brought my iPad, and I remember the cable at the hotel was not good. So I was like, oh, Dumbo's on Netflix. Let's put Dumbo on for her.
Oh, God.
And 10 minutes in, I was like, this is horrible.
I know. It's so funny. She remembers that even though she was 3.
Yeah, I think she's still scared. She's still afraid of it.
Because the live action was coming out and she goes, Mom, I'm not seeing that. And I said, that's fine. I don't really want to see it either.
It's a little depressing and scary. So anyway, it's subjective is what we're trying to say.
Yes, no,
Like,
it's totally subjective.
it's just so weird that Disney made one of the classic all-time fun attractions out of kind of a depressing, scary movie.
Yeah, it is.
Like it's not, anyway, it's not scary. Anyway, okay. So let's get into it. Scariest moments on Disney attractions. We included attractions I think we both did from both
Yes,
coasts.
I did. Yes,
We
I
had some
did
Disneyland
as well.
moments, some Walt Disney World moments. So all right, so you want to get it started with your first one?
Sure. So, well, before I do my first attraction, I just wanted to tell you this is really fun. I mean, it's always fun to do these with you, these podcasts. But it was funny when you told me this. I was like, okay, sure, I'm into that. And then when I sat down to think about which ones I would pick, I was like, oh my gosh, I can't even think of any because my job for myself for the past, at least since we've had kids and I can get away with it, so 7 years, has been to avoid any scary.
Yeah, you like have it out now.
I have the best out.
You don't have to do anything that scares you.
Oh, it's amazing because
Before we
Jack
had
won't
kids,
do
you had to
anything
do everything.
scary.
I didn't let you skip stuff.
Oh my gosh, he made me do all the things.
One time. I just said one time. The one thing you never did is Space Mountain. You've never
I've
done
still
Space
never
Mountain
done
ever.
Space Mountain. I don't know when I would ever have to.
I guess you're
Because
not
Jack
going
is
to,
never doing that.
Right.
So anyway, so it was a little hard because I really had to remember back to the times when I was forced to do scary attractions. But
I just
anyway, I
nodded in
came
silence.
up with some anyway. I came up with some really good
Well, thank
ones.
you for researching. and
My pleasure.
working very hard on
So
this.
my first one is Small World. No, I'm just kidding.
Hey, for some people,
Although the thought of having that song stuck in your head all day
and if
is a
you've-
little scary.
if you've read the first Kingdom Keepers book,
Oh, I didn't.
there is some that becomes a scary attraction.
Oh, well, then there you go. But
There's
that
some
wasn't my
scary
real
stuff
first
in there.
pick. So my real first pick, I'm going to go with a really, really fun one. No, I'll save that one. So I'm going to go
I'm
with...
glad you're organized. You're ready to go. As soon as we hit record,
I'm going
you
to
were
go
ready.
to Animal Kingdom. Listen, I'm going to go to Animal Kingdom, and I know you know what I'm going to say. Primeval Whirl.
Wow, that's actually.
And guess
I
what,
did not
you
think
guys?
that was going to be your
I'm
list.
just going to say the whole attraction is terrifying because if you're not spinning, you're dropping. And if you're not
Yes.
dropping, you're spinning. And if you're not doing either of those, you're trying not to scream and or throw up. It is crazy. And the best part is I'm so scared and I'm screaming the whole time. And Phil, you are laughing so hard.
Yeah, because it's just so funny.
Then I start laughing while I'm screaming and trying not to throw. I mean, you guys, it's crazy. It's like it really is a whirlwind because you're spinning and you're dropping, and I don't even know is going on at the same time.
Yeah,
I don't even know
Yeah,
if
you spin while you drop. Yeah,
Is that? Have you guys ever heard of something like that?
yeah. It's a
Spinning
wild
and
mouse
dropping?
coaster. Everyone's heard of that.
What is it?
A wild mouse.
Well, either way, that is the wildest mouse, and I'm not into it. I just feel like he made such a face, but I just feel like that whole attraction is scary.
Apparently, I'm just talking in syllables.
I think it's meant to be scary,
It is meant to be scary.
right? They do a great
think.
job then.
So yeah, it is It is meant to be scary. It is meant to be a little freaky.
Yeah, they did a great job.
Yeah,
There's nothing scary, I don't think, about like the exterior of it.
Oh no, it's very like colorful
It looks
and
super fun.
like,
You're like, oh my gosh,
the
this
light
is
blues
adorable.
and the yellows and the reds and yeah, it looks and it's like.
And then you get on, you're like, are you
stars.
kidding me?
Yeah, no, it's made to look very fun.
Yeah, no, it's not.
I find it hilarious because you get so scared.
Would you find it hilarious if I wasn't there?
Yeah. I think it's
Okay.
a really fun. A lot of people write to me. It's funny. It's one of those attractions that I've heard from a lot of listeners and a lot of like people on social media and stuff, and they hate it.
Yeah, because it's crazy.
I really enjoy it.
You spin and drop at the same time. How could you not hate it?
I was on that attraction. I rode that attraction before you and I got, involved romantically.
I didn't know where he was going with that.
You weren't there. You were not with me. I was with my family. And I really liked it when I first rode it.
Okay.
I just like stuff like that.
So you've always been a fan.
But I'm not a spinner per se. I don't like
No,
spinning.
you're not.
But that's not violent spinning. It's like funny, fun. It's not like the teacup where it's just...
Yeah, I was going to say, like, he won't even go on the teacup.
I can't do
guys.
that. But,
Like,
but it's just constant spinning.
okay.
It-
So this
this
is
one,
it's
slow-
broken up with
yeah.
the drops.
And it's slow spinning. It's kind of... It's like the equivalent of like the water... What the heck is it called? Cali River Rapids.
Colorado Rapids. I was
That
going to
type
do
of
that one,
spinning.
but I didn't remember it well enough.
Well, it's like that type of spinning, right? It's not like fast, violent
Right.
spinning.
Right.
But yeah, I liked it before, and it's way better now because I get to laugh at you.
I
the entire
enhance
time.
it for you.
You like the soundtrack of fun for that attraction. Like your noises just make it hilarious for me, and anyone who's riding with us.
No, I've definitely gotten comments after, like, thank
Really?
you for.
Yeah, like any attraction that you ride when you're scared, and you enhance it for everyone else there.
I hope so.
I remember riding Radiator Springs Racers.
Oh,
with you
that's
for
on
the
my
first
list
time.
later.
All right, we'll get to that later. All right, so I won't say anything. All right, so that's a good one. So my first one, and you know what? Since yours is like this, yours is kind of your first one was like an irrational kind of fear
Yeah, totally irrational.
because it's you can see the attraction before you don't. It's not like it's surprising. Mine's gonna be the same. Mine is good. Now you're not gonna recognize this name.
Okay.
Pixar Pal. No, I said it wrong. Pixar Pal Around. Does that mean anything to you? It doesn't.
No, it means nothing
What
to
does
me.
Mickey's Fun Wheel of Death mean to you?
Why did you call it? Oh, they
They
renamed
changed the
it?
name when it became Pixar Pier.
Oh.
So yeah, so now it's called Pixar Pal Around. So it's a huge Ferris wheel.
Now, can you count that? Even though you never did it, right?
No, I don't have to do it. I can count it because I can. First of all, it's my podcast. I can do what I want.
Great.
Second of all, no, I'm never going to do it. And I don't have to.
I don't have to do it.
I don't have to do it to count it because I can see it from the ground. Fine. I can see it perfectly where I am, with 2 feet planted on the ground and a cold margarita in my hand.
Yeah, you need a drink just to watch.
I
it,
do.
right?
I really do. I think when you and the kids wrote it,
Yeah, you
I
have
busted
having.
out. I busted out my camera, my good camera with the zoom. Like everybody else, you have your iPhone. You take great iPhone shots at the parks.
Yeah, they take good pictures.
But I also bring my not professional, but my DSLR camera and I have a few lenses because I play around with photography. I like it, and I remember I busted out my zoom lens, and I got a beer, not a margarita. I got a beer from one of the Pixar Pier stands there last summer, and I started zooming in on you guys, and I started feeling nervous, like really queasy,
just to watch us.
just watching it. And you guys were in a standard car.
Yeah, we weren't.
You weren't in a swinging car.
You think I was going to go in a swing car?
Oh my God. I watched those swinging cars and I think my blood pressure increases like 50 points.
No, I know. I was watching them when we were on it,
Oh
and I
my
was like,
God.
oh my gosh.
Dude,
And
I
do
don't
people
know
stand
why
up in
people
there?
enjoy that. No, you said.
Well, someone was standing up in the one I saw, and I
You
was having
shouldn't.
a heart attack.
You should not stand up. That's even way scarier.
I know.
I don't know why. I don't know what type of deranged person would enjoy that experience. It's so terrifying. just to look
That's a
at it.
great pick for you, especially.
Dude, I walking down the pier, walking past World of Color, I look at that attraction and I'm like, oh my God, I'm
no,
so
it
scared.
does. And you guys, not much scares him, honestly. So it's
It's
really,
like, yeah, it's like that.
it's a big deal.
It's that. It's Hill House right now. The weird happenings from Haunting of Hill House kind of freak me out. I don't know what else I'm afraid of. We'll get to it because this is what this whole episode is
Flying.
about. All right, relax.
Well, you just were trying to think of the third.
All right, I don't like to fly. I'm a travel agent. I'm a travel agent that doesn't like to fly.
He doesn't. He just doesn't enjoy it.
That's a weird thing. It's like being a writer who can't use a computer. Like,
That's a
it makes
really
no
good.
sense.
Yeah, that's a great comparison.
Yeah, like I can't. It doesn't make any sense. All right, so I mean, it makes my job a lot easier to fly places, but I'd rather drive.
It's true.
Okay, so yeah, so the Pixar Pal Around Swinging Ferris Wheels of Death.
I get it. Pal around.
Yeah,
I get it.
I get, but they're
It
going
goes
for that. But yeah, the death Ferris wheel is one I'll never do, and it frightens me every time I see it. All right, Ames, you're up.
Okay, so I'm going to go, since we mentioned it already, I'm going to go to Radiator Springs Racers, which, you guys, is in Disneyland, but I believe that Test Track is very similar to it.
Yeah, I mean, it's the same kind of ride system, sure.
So I'm just saying, if you guys are trying to compare it, I don't remember Test Track well enough because I haven't done that in 10 years.
She's such a good sport when she goes to the parks.
But I hang out with your kids
Oh,
that
that's
don't
true.
want to do
Don't say my
things.
kids. I think you had a part in that as well.
Either way. So I'm going to go to Disneyland.
I wasn't birthing them.
for Radiator Springs.
Like I said, birthing.
I did like
That's
that.
funny, right?
Yes. It was
I ain't
really
birthing no kids.
So in
That was my Cletus from The Simpsons accent.
That's really distracting. So, in general, Radiator Springs Racers, it's already scary for me personally because you're in the car, right? It's already going fast. You're like making mini drops. It's like going around corners and all. It's fun. There are, to be honest with you guys, the last time I did it, which was last summer, I finally opened my eyes. I don't think
I love that you've rode that like 4 times.
I don't think I've ever ridden it
before
with
your
my
eyes were
open.
closed.
Because the reason was that Jack was on it with me. He was so scared. And he's like, Mom, I'm so scared. Aren't you scared? So I had to pretend, no, I wasn't scared at all. So I couldn't exactly have my eyes closed. He was watching me like a hawk. So I was like, I guess I'm opening my eyes for this. But it was much more fun because there are some really cool scenes and there's a lot to look at. So you're a little bit distracted by the scariness of it for me. But then that moment, because this is about scary moments, right? That moment when they say, okay, now you're going to race the other car. And you're like, oh my gosh, racing sounds scary and this is going to be fast. Excuse me, you guys, it goes so fast. I don't know how fast it goes.
Like 40 miles an hour.
Okay. I know that doesn't sound that fast, but that's really
We were
fast.
doing like an average of 80 driving to Florida.
I know, but it's totally different. So you shoot out and you're like,
No, it
racing,
is a convertible,
and everyone,
so I'll give you that.
exactly. You shoot out and
I think
racing.
if you were doing 40 in a Mustang, you'd be okay. But doing 40 in Lightning McQueen, you're terrified.
Did you feel like I should do this?
Sorry.
Just kidding. No, it is.
Gosh,
My
tough
point-
room today. Did you not sleep well?
Not really, actually. But my point is that you shoot out in this car. It goes like 40 miles an hour. Everyone else is like, yeah, we're going to win. We're going to beat everyone. And I'm screaming the loudest I can scream, waiting for the car to stop going so fast. So for me, that's the scariest moment. But I will say that is totally worth it, as I'm sure Test Track is, because there are so many cool moments on it. And it's really fun. And it really is, you're right. At the end of the day, it's just going fast. You're not dropping.
Some really cool turns. Like you kind of
You do swerve a little bit.
You have a really cool
but it's
bank
not like
turn.
crazy spinning. Like what I'm saying is, as scary as that moment is, do it anyway if you can, because it's really fun.
And for regular people, it's not scary at all.
But I would say if you feel like you want to avoid Primeval World, go ahead and avoid it because it's
that's
not
fine.
that important.
That's fine. Primeval World's fine. If you do spend the money to go to DCA, and you're going to, even if especially if you're like us and you're on the East Coast, you're going to spend all that money to get out to California.
No, you don't want to
and
miss
see
it.
Cars Land. You don't want to miss the premier attraction. I think that's still the best attraction.
It's
in that
really,
park.
really well done.
It is. All right. So yeah, so it's scary for you again, and for Jack.
It's the anticipation too.
Jack was also 4 when he wrote it, so
I don't think that matters.
all right. You know what? I'm going to stay out in Disneyland.
Okay.
I have a few in Disneyland. I think there are some scarier moments in the Disneyland attractions because they were classic, like old school attractions.
Yes.
that
Oh no, I
haven't
hope we're not doing the same one.
Okay, well, if we are, I have others that
Okay.
I can back up. Should I spell mine? Like we do for the kids?
No, I'm so used to doing that.
I was just thinking that. I was like, I'm going to spell it for her.
The other day I was
I think
trying
the average listener could spell.
the other day I was trying to
I
tell
mean,
you.
I'm sorry if you can't.
I was trying to tell you something about a mom, but she was right behind me, and I started to spell it. And I
I
was
told you. I
oh,
had a friend of mine who works at Disney spell, and if he's listening to this, it's very, very funny.
Oh, yeah.
I hope he's listening.
I remember.
Because he's so used to spelling because he has little kids. He spelled something in front of like a guy who he spelled it to like a fellow cast member about a guy that they worked with, and the other dude was like, I can spell. I don't know. Like,
I know what you
doing?
just said.
Anyway, all right. So you know what? I'll leave the one because you might go with it. So I'm going to do a different one. Pinocchio's Daring Journey.
You're fine.
Did you have that on your list?
I did not.
I know what you have on your list.
I know you did.
I'm not going to touch it this time. Pinocchio's Daring Journey. First of all, that entire attraction's a little creepy.
It really is. It's really good.
It's another Disney movie. It's
I know what you're going to say. Oh, I know how I didn't say this.
The second, I think Pinocchio is the second animated full-length feature that Walt Disney ever did.
Yes.
It was like 1939, I think it came out.
Oh, I can't even ride this part. I have to close my ears.
So the whole attraction is a little creepy, right? With Stromboli, the marionette part.
Yes.
With, but they go to Pleasure Island.
Oh my gosh.
And it's the donkey scene. So Lampwick turns into a donkey. In the film, it's terrifying.
It's already terrifying in the film.
Right? Like
But you don't have to watch the film.
He's crying.
I know.
He's pleading with Pinocchio, help me, help me, help me. Horrifying, right?
Really bad.
Smoking and drinking, by the way.
That part doesn't bother me.
What's Pinocchio, like 5?
He is.
Like, come on.
Young.
They're all drinking, smoking,
That
fighting.
part I don't care about as much.
I love that in the beginning of that movie now, there's like a PSA.
Yes.
Like, you should not smoke, but they leave the drinking go.
I know they don't
They
say
don't mention
anything
anything
about
about the
drinking.
Like, you kids, drink all you want, but don't smoke.
Maybe they
My
can
God.
pretend it's not beer.
Yeah, I don't know if they ever say beer,
They don't.
but you clearly see them filling it up.
Yeah,
with
it's
keg.
pretty clear.
Anyway, so Lampwick turns into a donkey right in front of your eyes. He's heeing and hawing and screaming, and it's like a shadow, and it's terrifying. And then there's a donkey in a cage, and the door cage slams shut. But it was a boy a minute ago. And and you're watching this on the attraction, and you're like, "Holy cow!"
You guys, we are not exaggerating. If you haven't done this, this is really this scary.
It's terrifying. And listen, I love it.
Oh, I thought you were going to say the thing that they say.
What did they say? I forget.
The one
What'd
kid.
it say?
I don't know if it's the one you were.
Oh no,
referring to.
but I don't think that's on the attraction, is it?
Yes.
I think it's in the movie. What?
No.
I want to go home with my mama.
Yeah, he says he just says I just want to go home, and he's all crying, and he's
Holy
a
cow.
donkey in a cage. Oh my gosh, you guys! I don't know why that's acceptable. It is not acceptable.
It's terrifying.
I always cover whatever kid. I always cover their ears and eyes if I can. Whoever's near me. It's really
and when you
scary.
say you cover the kid, you mean you close your eyes and hold your ears.
That's actually true.
I think we've only ridden that once with the kids, and we were like, okay, not again.
Oh, it's the word. No, you're right.
Like, sorry,
I was
not
like,
until
we
you're 12.
cannot do this.
Nope,
again.
not again.
That was a great pick.
And the whole attraction's dark. Like it's a dark attraction.
It is like actually dark.
Yes, dark. That's not what I meant though. I mean, it is dark in there.
Yeah, the
Yes,
whole thing
it's a
is
dark ride. So yeah, it's dark.
in both ways.
Okay, all right. It's just my turn or your turn. But yeah, it's just dark and creepy, and it's got that feel to it, like the movie does, where you're just like not really sure. Like you're like, I don't know. Like, is this okay to be watching this? See, like, listen, it was made in 1939 or 1940. I forget what year it was, but that's a lifetime ago. So the movies are very different than they are now.
It's really true.
Where
right.
Anna and Elsa are saved the day because of sisterly love. Back then, Geppetto lets Pinocchio go off to school after knowing for all of 10 minutes. What is that, by the way? This is a big problem that I have.
This
with
really
the film.
upsets him. He talks about this all the time.
All he does is wish for a son. I
And
want
then
a
he
real
just
boy. I
sends him
want a
to
son. I
school.
want a son. I want a son. Wishes upon a star. I wish I have a son. Goes to sleep, wakes up, has a son. It's like 2 a.m. He gets a son. Right?
Right.
Amazing.
It's exciting.
That shouldn't ever happen. He's an old man by himself.
Somehow
He's
it
got
did.
no girlfriend, no wife, nothing. He gets a son overnight. The next day, he's known him for like 4 hours. He's like, time to go to school.
Like,
What?
wouldn't you want to hang out with him?
You get to know your kid a little bit. He knows nothing about the
know.
world. It's your fault that he gets taken in by Stromboli and Anastan.
It is kind of.
It's your fault, Geppetto.
It wouldn't have been much of a movie though if he just hung out with Geppetto.
Well, no, Jiminy Cricket could be there. He's hanging out. He was turned into the conscience the first day.
I know, but I'm just saying.
So why can't
kinda-
the first day Geppetto like teaching him his A, B, and C's and his walking around the neighborhood? Be like, this is where the butcher
Does
lives.
anyone feel like watching the movie?
I'm just saying.
The butcher.
Like, this is where we get our meat, Pinocchio. I don't know if you should eat because you're a puppet. Who knows what you
But
eat?
then
Just
you
don't
can
eat
get
the,
to know him. If
don't
he
eat the
knows it's
goldfish or the
gonna be
cat, because that's a problem.
cool. Right,
Or the
'cause
cricket.
They're main characters.
Anyway, all right, I think you're up.
Well, I am. It was hard to tell. So I'll stay in. I'll do the one that you know. I'll stay in Disneyland, and then I'm back to Disney World after this. But Disneyland. So I'm talking about Snow White's Scary Adventure.
Yeah, that's where it's on my list. Yeah,
Obviously. So
I know exactly the moment you're talking about.
I know,
because it is the moment.
I know it really is.
Because it was in Walt Disney World for 40 years, not for 40, but 35 years, and it is one of the most terrifying attraction moments ever.
It really is because you're like drawn in, right?
Oh yeah,
So you get in, and it's like so nice, and like
it's
yes, all the whistling and the animals, and then you
dancing
see
and
dancing. And
Dopey's
see
got a
Snow White.
banjo.
Yes. Oh my gosh, they're all
Happy.
like frolicking and having a good time. Everything is cool.
Like,
You see
woodland
Snow White.
creatures.
Yeah, all the woodland creatures are represented. And then you see Snow White, and she's looking in the mirror, right? I'm not crazy.
I think so. I don't know. See, originally the attraction was you were Snow White, and Snow White
Right.
wasn't in the attraction. She wasn't in it at all, and people got confused.
I remember that. They
in like
they
the
redid
50s.
it.
But yeah, they redid it and put Snow White into the attraction because originally you in the car played the role of Snow White,
Right.
but people
I
didn't get it,
remember that.
and they wrote. Do you remember it? I don't know if that was around.
I don't know if I saw it, but I just remember you maybe telling me.
Okay,
the
yeah,
story.
and people were confused. They were like, "Well, we just wrote on this attraction. It's called Snow White's Scary
and
Adventures.
I didn't see her.
Where's Snow White?"
Right, and like kids were like, "Why don't I see her?"
Yeah, so
right.
they changed it and added Snow White, but Snow White always felt like she didn't really fit in the attraction because she
no,
wasn't
but
designed to
but
be
in
there.
this moment,
It's supposed to be from her point of view,
right. But in this moment, I believe she's looking in the mirror,
Sure.
and then so you're like, "Oh, look, there's Snow White. She's so pretty," and she turns, and it's the wicked, crazy face
It's the Evil Queen.
of the evil
No,
queen.
it's that. Evil Queen spins around. It's the hag.
That's a hag, yeah.
Yeah.
That's that's you're right. You're right. It's,
It's
the
the
evil
evil queen
I'm
looking in the
sorry,
mirror.
You're right.
Yeah.
Evil queen is looking in the mirror. Oh, she's like pretty, even though she's like weird. And then she turns and it's the evil hag, and you're like,
With a poison apple in her hand. Yeah.
you guys, no, I'm not kidding. Like, I don't care how old you are. I don't care how many haunted hills, whatever show you're watching, you've seen.
How many haunted
This
hills?
is so ridiculously scary. That moment, it's so unexpected, and because you're like totally
It still freaks me out.
No.
Like I'm a grown man.
it's so scary.
I don't like to act like I'm a grown man, but I am.
No, that's true. It is, you guys. She turns and
Real
the music,
fast.
and I think the music changes.
Oh, everything. Yeah.
And you're like, what? I mean,
So,
I've
you're
definitely
like-
heard
yeah,
a
it's
lot of adults scream at
Yeah,
that
like
moment.
you're a little freaked out because it's the Evil Queen, but you're like, I could take the Evil Queen.
Whatever. She's pretty enough.
And she turns around and it's
Yeah.
just terrifying.
Oh my gosh, you guys, it's so scary. It
I knew it was going to be on your list.
had to be.
I probably shouldn't even have put it on mine because I knew you were going to. It might be the scariest moment of any Disney attraction. It might be.
I mean, if you were basing it on not movement, not like if you're talking about like Tower of Terror with the drop, something like that, okay. But if you're talking about a moment in a scene, that is definitely going to win every time. Don't you think?
No, I absolutely think so. Like, yeah. It's scary moment in an attraction. This is the first one I thought of.
It's terrifying. Me too.
Yeah, as soon
That
as
was
I
the
thought
exact
scary
thing.
moment, I think that spinning around of that character
Is that what?
led to this podcast.
I was going to say, is that what brought you to the
Like, I'm pretty
podcast?
sure that moment, I was like, we should do a podcast about that.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Okay, so you mentioned it. So I'll mention it. You mentioned Tower of Terror.
Yes, I'm glad. I figured you
So
put it
I'm going to
on
go
your
into
list.
Tower of Terror for my next one,
Do it.
but it's not the drop.
Okay.
The drop
That's fine.
is a lot of fun for me. I'm not afraid of the drop.
Right.
I never have been. I love thrills.
Right. And good
I
point.
love that
Most
stuff.
people who are doing that attraction aren't really necessarily afraid of the drop.
Because you see the drop coming from outside.
You know it's going to
it is.
happen.
And it's not the lead up. It's not any of the animatronics or the not animatronics. I'm sorry, the special effects. It's not the music. It's not the pre-show. None of that. None of that is the scary moment for me.
Okay.
For me, the scary moment is when now you've been on the attraction, so you remember when the doors open and you see the projected people, the ghosts down the hall, and the little girl sings, "It's raining, it's pouring." It's a little creepy, not scary though.
Okay.
The doors close, and then you shoot up.
Oh, that is so scary for you.
That's scary for me. The going up
Yes.
part.
He does not enjoy that feeling.
I don't like that feeling at all. So I know you got to get up there. You got to get 13 stories up, and then once you're in the like the lift contraption, and you're in that free fall sequence, and you're going up and down, Going up doesn't scare me at all.
Right. It was just
But-
the initial going up.
Yeah, because it's pitch black in the car. Pitch black. And
Right.
It goes,
Oh,
and you just
yeah.
shoot up like 5 or 7 stories.
Yeah, that is definitely
That,
going
and
to get
then
you.
your stomach, you feel it. And then it doesn't just break. Like, you don't have to stop. You lift a little higher and then it settles. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like you lift up a little higher and then you're going to drop from, then it
Oh,
settles down
yeah.
a couple
So
feet.
it's kind of, it's like an actual, really is like an elevator, right?
It
Because that
is.
happened. That's
Yeah,
the
yeah.
same feeling in the elevator.
It's almost like where it almost feels like taking off on a plane.
Oh, yeah. I was going to say like the turbulence.
Yeah,
Or,
like the little jump. Oh my
Yeah.
God, it freaks me out.
oh, yeah. He's not
every
into
time.
that either, you guys.
It freaks me out every single time. It's a good freak out because I know it's coming,
Right.
but it makes my heart beat a little faster.
Yeah, no, that makes perfect
It
sense.
scares me. You know what's funny? Shoot, you just distracted me because you started typing something on your phone.
Sorry.
I had a
wasn't
thought.
typing.
What are you doing?
I was looking at my note to see what
Just
I was going to do
texting.
next. I was
She's
not
like, I
texting.
gotta get out of here. Who can I text?
just-
My name's Amy. This is a funny text I'm going to send right in the middle of the podcast.
Just so you guys know, he does this voice to make fun of me every day. He does like a different person of it. My name's Amy, and I'm so scared of scary movies, and I don't do anything scary.
Well-
My name's Amy.
That's it. And your name is Amy. No, I forget where I was going to go. I was going with the.
Well, you distracted yourself.
I did because I had another point to make about Tower of Terror, and I forget what it was. Oh, no, I remember what it was, and it wasn't about Tower of Terror. That same feeling when you go the shooting up feeling.
Yeah.
There's in the other parks that should not be named. There's the Doctor Doom attraction.
Okay. I've never done that.
So for those of you who don't know what that is, it's just Doctor Doom. So Tower of Terror, it's scary because it drops you 13 stories. The Doctor Doom attraction is scary because it shoots you up like at blazing speed from the ground, like, I don't know, 20 stories in the air. And
That's
I
crazy.
don't know why I ever do it
Yeah, why?
because I hate it. But I've done it a lot.
You do.
And I find myself,
You like to torture yourself.
I
little
do
bit,
a
think.
little bit. I find myself gripping.
Is it because you feel like you should like it?
No, I don't
you
think.
want to like it?
Oh, I hate it though. I hate it. But I find myself gripping the shoulder harness, like white knuckling it before the thing even moves.
Right.
Like like to hear the Doctor Doom character and he's like eating your brain or something. I don't know. And then
That part doesn't bother you at all.
it's not a very well themed attraction, to be honest with you. But I'm holding on to the harness, and like your seat starts shaking, and you don't know when
he's
you're
mimicking it. Right
Yeah, I'm
now.
mimicking it. You don't know when you're gonna go, and all of a sudden you just shoot up.
Oh,
Oh my God. It's so scary.
that does sound.
Now I'm getting nervous just thinking about it. Anyway, that had something to do with
It's like
Splash
you're on
Mountain.
Mickey's
Or with,
Phone Wheel.
with Tower of Terror.
Or Pixar.
My blood pressure is elevated. I'm sweaty.
Actually is a little red.
It really scares me. So yeah,
No, it sounds very scary.
that's even it's way scarier than Tower of Terror. But Tower of Terror and Guardians out in the DCA has it now. The Guardians Mission Breakout.
Oh, does it?
Yeah, Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout. By the way, I didn't expect to like it as much as I did out
No,
there.
you didn't.
Oh my God, it's so good.
You loved it, right?
I've written it a few times now. I love it. I love it.
That's so cool. I love Guardians. So
And they did
glad.
such a great job with it. And I expected like the attraction to be okay,
Yeah,
the queue to be lame. No,
it's
the
awesome.
queue was amazing. They did such a good job. The exterior still looks like Tower of Terror. It kind of sticks out like a sore thumb. But what are you going to do? That whole area is going to be a Marvel land eventually.
Right. So
But man, they did a great job with that attraction. And the last time I rode, I got the song changes as to which song you hear in the background.
That's right.
Rocket, as your attraction starts when you're on the ground,
Oh yes, you were telling me
Rocket
this.
plugs in the speakers, quote unquote,
So cool. I love
into
Rocket.
Chris Pratt. What's his name in the show? Star Lord.
yeah.
I forget his real name. Peter Quill.
Yes.
Plugs the speakers into his Walkman, and it plays the music on the attraction while you're going. But the songs are different. Right now, it's Monsters After Dark. Monsters After Dark.
The best song
Monsters
ever.
After Dark. For Halloween, that's all they do. It's just
Of
Monsters After
course.
Dark 1,000 times. It's the dumbest song ever.
It's really terrible.
It's so dumb. Seriously, let's look it up right
That
now.
is
Stop what
the
you're
only
doing.
part.
If you're not on, if you're on your computer or if you're on your iPhone and you're listening, look up "Monsters After Dark." It's a song, and it's right now during Halloween. It's the only song they play, and it's the worst song ever.
You will see. We are not
It's
joking.
horrible.
It's awful.
They just say "Monsters After Dark" 30,000 times.
And
But-
it's really loud.
It is really loud. It's this like heavy metal version.
Yes.
It's bad. But I don't know. But when I was on it, it wasn't Halloween. The last time I wrote it was in summer. And I got...
In summer.
You good?
I'm good.
All right, good. You got that out of your system now?
A little bit.
Okay. So,
I realize I have a really bad cold right now, and it would make me really cough if I did it for longer. So I caught myself off.
all right, that's good. So, we're going to pretend that didn't happen. So, we're going to... So, anyway,
So in the summer,
in the
you
summer...
went on.
Now I want to sing it. I'm not going to. But I wrote it in the summer. And the song was the Jackson 5, I Want You Back.
Oh, nice.
Can you sing any of that?
No.
Give me one more chance. That song. I
think everyone knows it.
Yeah, that was on.
He did the instrumental version, apparently.
Yeah. I knew a couple of the words. Then I went to the brass version of that song. But it made it so much fun. Like
Yeah, that sounds awesome.
dropping like 13 stories to the Jackson 5s and Want You Back is the coolest thing.
It's
It
a
was so
great
much fun.
idea.
They did a great job with it. I have to admit, I didn't expect to like it as much as I did, and I really, really liked it. Okay. So where were we?
So it's my turn. That
Okay,
was
yeah.
you with Tower Terror.
I have no idea how many we've done.
It's fine. We're good.
You have-
I have 2 left.
Oh, great. All right. I have a few, so I can do some honorable mentions at the end if I have
Cool.
to.
So I'll do this one, and we never talk about what we're gonna do before the podcast. But I did. You did ask me if I was going to include this one,
Mhm.
and I said I wasn't because I felt like I recently done it. But you said it's worth it to do it again.
It is.
So I am going.
Because you're not going to not be honest. You're going to leave if something's scary.
No,
you gotta,
this is definitely. If I'm going to Disney World, this is definitely the thing that's going to scare me the most, and I do it every trip.
right.
So it is. We're going back to Disney World. We're going to Haunted Mansion, and I'm talking about that moment when you're standing in the stretching room, and he says, "What does he say?" I don't even know what he says because I can't listen.
There are no windows and no doors, which leaves you with a challenge to find a way out.
Yes, to find a way out,
And
and
it
then
gets
there's
this
like a
way.
lady screaming, which is also me at the same time.
You need two ladies screaming.
Yeah, 2 ladies screaming. And all the lights go out. But I'm talking, you guys, it is pitch black. You're in a room or whatever.
You're in the dead center of the room.
Dead center of the room with like, gosh knows how many other people. And it's pitch, anything
Something
could
like
happen
there's like
to you.
800 people in there.
No, seriously, there's a lot
It's
of
not 800. I'm kidding.
whatever. It could be 10 people. I'm saying there are all these people and it's absolutely pitch black. Anything could happen. So as soon as the lights go out, I scream really loud. I grab whoever's near me. I try to make it be part of like a member of my family.
Sometimes it's that.
not always. And I just hold on to them. And I don't know why that for some reason makes me feel secure and comfortable. Because if it is in fact a stranger, I'm probably making the situation worse
You're
by
making them very
grabbing them.
uncomfortable.
Yes, but it is such a visceral moment for me, honestly. So it proves to me that I obviously am also afraid of the dark because as soon as the lights go out, my whole body goes into like panic terror mode.
Yeah.
But I don't think I'm the only one who's scared of that moment. It's supposed to be scary.
Yeah, no, that part definitely is supposed to be scary.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, you have, a guy hanging from the rafters.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah,
part.
you always forget because you didn't see him until like this summer.
Right, because I never
Even though
looked.
you've been on that attraction for 40 years.
Right.
No, it's a great one. It's a great pick, and that's why I wanted
It's a
to make
great
sure you kept-
moment. It's a fun.
Again,
for people
it's
who aren't-
it's legitimately a scary moment. in
Right.
the
For
park.
people who aren't having like a full blown panic attack like I am, they really enjoy that part. Right.
For people who don't have to change their underwear after that part, they like it. Yeah, no, it is cool. I think every kid in there gets a little nervous,
Of course.
even though they put on like a brave face. Like,
Right.
no, I'm not. Yeah, you are.
you
You're a
are.
little scared. That part scares you.
Absolutely.
Haunted Mansion is more silly than scary, but that part.
That
is a little
part's
scary.
scary.
And I mentioned last week the hallway with the doors.
Right.
That's my scary part.
So
Still
that's
scares
your
me.
fear.
Again, it's another fear. I went into guttural mode. I was my. You know what? That's the one thing on the podcast. I'm not afraid. Like, if I don't come up with the words right away and I make some weird noise, you might as well acknowledge it. Like, that was a weird noise I
Right.
made.
You're not going to edit it out.
No, that's it's for real. It's for real. It's furl. The show. She's laughing at me.
What is going on? with
Furl.
you? Just so you guys know, he did have a lot of coffee this
I did, and I'm
morning.
drinking a soda too.
Oh, no.
Too much caffeine for me. But yeah, that I don't. It is a fear of mine, like somebody breaking into my house.
No, I mean, it makes sense.
But the doorknob turning.
It just is.
Again, that's on the Haunting of Hill House. That happens all the time on that show.
That's like
Somebody's
par
in a
for the
room,
course.
nobody's around, nobody's home, and the doorknob turns. That's scary. That's a scary thing. Yes, that scares me.
I feel like you're trying to get away with saying things about the show to me because I always say don't talk about it, but I can't do that on
I'm
the
like,
podcast.
get my shots in.
He's totally taking advantage of the situation.
That's not, you'll be like, I can't sleep. I'll be like, why?
Absolutely.
Because I'm thinking of that
Because
darn
of the
show.
doorknobs.
Anyway, so, okay. All right.
So as you're up.
It is me, and this is going to be a surprising one from me to you, even.
Okay.
Because we have never been to
Is
this
it Small
park.
World?
We have never been to this park together. It is a Disney park, not a theme park, but a water park.
Okay.
And it's Blizzard Beach.
So anything on there, right? Because aren't you scared?
I'm not really
Oh,
afraid
you
of
just don't. You
I just
do
don't.
that.
I don't really take my shirt off in public.
True.
That's my first thing. But my main and the main reason for that is because I have scars on my chest from it's a long story, but I don't like that part. But so Summit Plummet,
You're just
Didn't
making
even-
it seem like really mysterious.
I've had cysts.
I just bet
But I've
people
had
are
to
like,
have
"Ooh,
removed."
he must have been in a knife fight."
No,
or-
knife fight. Surgery. It's not a heart surgery.
You said, "I don't like to talk about that part."
It's cyst surgery. It's all it is.
You shouldn't have
I've
said
had,
the cysts.
I've had cysts removed, and it's just scarring, and that I don't like to show. That's all. But okay. So when I was younger and I didn't care about those things, I wasn't as self-conscious as I am now. Summit Plummet at Blizzard Beach
Oh, right.
scared me to death.
I don't know what it's. Can you
It's
describe it a
It's
little
the
bit?
speed slide.
Oh,
it's
okay. I've
the
seen
one of the
that.
highest speed slides. I think it had the record for a while. Now there's like crazy theme parks and water parks in like Asia and in the UK, I think. Not UK, Germany, I think Schlitterbahn. No, that's Schlitterbann's here. Is in Texas, I think. There's a water park somewhere in Europe that it has this beat by a lot. But Summit Plummet, if you don't know what it is, if you're like us and you pretend that water parks don't exist,
We do
so your
pretend
kids don't have to go there because you don't like them.
that.
Summit Plummet is a speed slide, and you go up all these steps, right? Like it's the highest slide. Excuse me, in Disney World, highest in the two parks, Typhoon Lagoon and Blizzard Beach, and it's super high. I didn't even look it up to see how high it is, but I'm guessing it's probably close to 200 feet tall. Maybe I'm crazy. Now I got to look that up because that sounds really high to me.
That
So-
does sound really high.
While you're thinking about that, while we're talking about that, you make something up. Talk about something while I'm looking it up.
Well, you just made me think that we probably should go to a water park soon.
Right.
So anyone who's listening, if you guys have like, oh, this is my favorite water park, this is what you need to do there, go ahead and let us know, and we'll let you know how it goes. Maybe we'll do a water park podcast after we go to one. That'd be fun.
Maybe.
You never did
I don't know
one.
why I can't find the answer. Yeah, I don't know if you're getting me to a water park, to be honest with you. But we'll see. Hold on. Blizzard Beach, Summit Plummet. Let me try to find it. Do. Keep going. 120 feet. Okay, so it's a lot.
That's
Not
still
200
really
feet.
high.
Still pretty high. So I was off by 80 feet, which is pretty significant. It just reminded me of the Louis Black joke when he talks about
Yes.
Willard Scott, and he's like talking about how meteorologists are terrible, and he's like Willard Scott. He's like, he said we would get 6 inches of snow. What we got was 30 inches of snow. He was 2 feet off. He's like, if you were a roofer and you built a roof and you were 2 feet off, you wouldn't be out of prison yet. I just love that line. But anyway, it's 120 feet. So you get up there and they tell you to sit down on a slide, and then you have to cross your arms across your chest.
See, that's the kind of things that already scare me. Like
Yeah.
when and this is actually my last one, speaks to this point, but what scares me is like all the preparation, right? So like they say you have to cross your arms across your chest. What if you forget?
Well, it's put your hand. I forget. It might be put your hands behind your head.
Whatever
and
it
cross
is.
your feet. I think that's what it is.
Like what if my feet become uncrossed? Like that's the kind
You
of
fly
stuff
off
that
into
scares
oblivion.
me.
I know. No, it's really a freaky thing. It's scary. So yeah. So you get up there, and I remember I rode that. I remember being up there and, you're waiting in line and there's like 10 people in front of you at the top and there's like 5 and there's like 3 and you're looking at the
you're waiting for your turn.
Yeah, and you're looking and everybody's like in bathing suits, so it's weirdly vulnerable. Like,
yes, you're so right.
You're like looking down that you just see people disappearing because you can't see them.
Where are they going?
No, when they go
what
down,
happens to them?
it's like almost like a straight drop.
Yeah, of course.
And when you see them go over the thing, they're just gone. They're gone. They're like into the ether. They're out of there. And you don't know if they're okay.
Yeah, you have no idea.
And then at the bottom, I think you can see the very bottom of the slide, so you see them getting up. But they're gone for the full few seconds. You have no idea what happened to them. It's scary, man.
Of course.
Yeah, so I'm not ever riding that again, ever. So I've done it. I've done it a couple of times. I'm never doing it again. Yeah. So that was I have a couple more to mention, but yeah, that one terrifies me.
Yeah, that's a good pick.
Thank you.
I can tell that really does scare you. It sounds scary.
It is. It's scary. It
right.
is. I don't like. There's probably a height thing to almost all of these.
Right.
But
he's not a huge fan of heights.
It does freak me out. All right. So what's your next one?
So my last one, yes. So as I said, it speaks to that point of preparation. So for me, it's actually Flights of Passage, Avatar Flights of Passage.
Wow, really?
Is that what it's called?
It's not flights, it's flight, but that's good.
Oh.
I wasn't going to correct you, but you asked.
One Flight of Passage.
You're not taking several flights.
That's true.
It's not an airport.
Enough. So what's funny is once I'm actually that attraction is unbelievable. I mean, obviously, everybody talks about it. It's amazing. It's incredible. You should absolutely experience it. And I really liked it. And once I was on it, I was okay, actually. But it's the pre-show and the preparation scared the pants off me because it's so intense. First of all, you're like standing there and I know it's part of the show, whatever, but they're like scanning you and I'm like, what are they scanning me for? Am I failing the scan? What is going to happen? Like, are they going to pull me aside? So it's like building it up. And then they take 10 minutes.
You know that's a part of the show, right? That's like
I know it's part of the show. Yeah, okay, but how do you know?
You're right. You're right. I don't know.
I mean, really. So they probably are really scanning me. So anyway, so you're there, you're being scanned, and then
that's where Disney inserts the chip to track you.
They do talk for, it feels like at least 10 minutes about, okay, once you get in there and you get to whatever your motorcycle, whatever that thing is that you get on, like, okay, this is what you have to do. And you have to bend forward and you have to put your feet like this and put this on here. And
so you're saying it's a little intimidating.
It's super intimidating. And I'm like, how is my brain? I'm already nervous for this attraction. How is my brain going to remember all these things? What if I don't do that? What if I swerve the wrong way? Am I going to fall off? Like, is my foot going to go in the wrong spot? Like, they're still scanning me this whole time. It's so crazy. And I'm like so freaked out.
You're really worried about the scanning. Did something happen to you?
Because something happened, I think. So I went on with just me and Alexa, who was also very, very nervous.
Right.
And something I think happened because does that happen for a long time, that scan? Is it supposed to? Okay, because I think we got stuck on it, though, because it was scanning us. Like, other people who were not me freaking out were, like, looking around being like, why is this still happening? I think we got stuck in there or something.
Maybe the screen stuck or something.
Yeah, because it was, like, a good 40 minutes.
No, it wasn't 40 minutes.
I think it was. And so the buildup is so scary. So then, to be honest with you guys, by the time I got in there and I made sure my feet were in the right spot and all, then it was amazing.
Oh, it's great.
I forgot all about it. I didn't worry about the swerving and the scanning and all that, and I just enjoyed it. But that build-up, they do a really good job because it is supposed to be very serious.
Oh, yeah.
And they are really building
You're bonding
the story.
with the Banshee.
Right. Oh, no, I know. And then what if I don't bond with my Banshee? What if my Banshee doesn't like me? Right, you're right. It's a whole thing. I forgot about that part.
It's like the dog.
They do.
What if the puppy doesn't like me?
Absolutely. So they do
a
really great
right now
job.
is interrupting the podcast. He walked into the studio.
He's actually biting my legs. So they do a really good job.
He thinks he runs the show around here.
He does a little. So they do a great job, is what I'm saying, of building up that scary moment. At least for me.
They do.
And so that was my last one. But I will say, even with the scanning and all, that you should definitely not ever miss that attraction. Do whatever you can. Get a fast pass in advance. Wait the time, whatever. Do it, because it's unlike anything else in any of the parks.
It is. It's completely unique. It's the ride system might seem a little like Soarin'.
I know that, but it's nothing like Soarin'. And I love Soarin'.
No, it's like Soarin' on super steroids. It
really
is. All right, so my last one. All right, yeah, I have a couple other ones I want to mention, but my last one is the. What are you laughing at?
I was just laughing at Foxy.
Maybe he's laughing at our puppy.
He was tickling my feet.
All right, so sorry about that for everyone who's listening who doesn't have a dog right now in the room. It's very professional in this show. We can like to keep it professional around here. All right,
You can edit it out.
I'm not editing out. No, I'm not editing out the dog. What happens on the podcast stays on the podcast. So my last one, and again, I had a couple other ones, but my last one is Magic Kingdom or Disneyland in Frontierland or Critter Country. And it's a part on Splash Mountain.
Oh, this is, I know what you're going to say. This is excellent pick. Excellent.
And I think it still makes me a little nervous, even though, again, I'm a very much in body, at least an adult. It's the lift hill. The lift hill before the big drop.
Yes.
Chickapin Hill.
That's way scarier than the drop. Well, for me, it's not.
No, but
Most
it's the
people.
anticipation. It's
Sure.
really Disney does an amazing job because they tell that story
They do.
for like 10 minutes before you get to that.
Oh, yeah. They're
To that
warning
lift
you
hill.
that it's happening.
And then when you start to go up and the music changes and it's like the ooh, like that.
I wish you guys could all have seen.
My face is perfect. It was a good face.
It was perfect. He was shaking.
So that part in the lift hill, and then there's the two vultures that are like
Right,
undertakers
the
in
vultures.
tuxedos.
That's who I was just thinking of.
And they're like, if this is a laughing place, why aren't you laughing?
And I'm like, I am not laughing.
And it's freaky, and
No, they do
they
great.
set the
job with that, you're right.
stage perfectly for the drop. They do a great job. The story, all the conflict, all that kind of comes together at the end. And you go up the lift hill, and it's just a freaky moment.
But you're right, and it takes a long time to get up the lift hill.
Yeah, so they're
It's
still
slow.
telling that story the whole time.
They
that
sure
you go
are.
up there. So it's really, really well done. And I really enjoy it. And I think it's one of those things that I think gets glossed over a bit because the drop.
Yeah, nobody
is so
talks
good.
about it. You're right.
And then after the drop, I love after the drop because I like sitting in that little area where you can see everyone after
Yes.
the drop and they're like drying themselves off. I always try to get pictures of like people. This is so funny. You don't even realize you're getting that people are looking at you.
No, you don't
But there's
realize
this
it at
whole
all.
like bridge where people are watching you kind of react and dry off. And
It's really fun to
laugh
watch.
and-
You're right.
excuse me. But yeah, I think they just do such a great job in that attraction. It's a really, really, really well done classic Disney attraction. And the drop is great, and after the drop is great, but I love the anticipation of the drop. So that's why that's one of my
That's a
scare, if
great
not my
pick.
scariest one. So a couple things I wanted to mention really fast that we didn't get to. Dinosaur is
Oh,
one.
I know.
The part in Dinosaur when the Carnotaurus starts chasing the car in the darkness,
Oh, yes.
and you hear the trees falling.
Yeah, that's well
and
done.
he's chasing and growling and snarling at the car. I really love that part. I think that's really cool. The other one that I wanted to mention that didn't make our list is now it's called Aerophile at Disney Springs. Used to be called Characters in Flight, the balloon.
Oh, yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Nope. Another
Oh,
one.
no. You
Nope.
Did you ever do it?
Nope. Never doing it.
Doesn't have to do it,
You
right?
don't have to do it. It's the same as the Philadelphia Zoo has a balloon like that.
Oh, yes.
Where again, crazy people get on these things that go like hundreds of feet in the air and just sit there, and they're like susceptible to the wind. What what happens if it gets windy when you're up there? Like I know they don't go up in the air when it's windy.
So I know you mentioned that these are all height things, but these are also control things, right? Like you realize, like because you don't have any control.
I will concede that yes, it is all. As you fumble with your microphone, it is all a control thing. I think it is. It's a.
No, I think it is.
I am
sure.
completely out of control. I have no control over the situation. Susceptible to high
I
winds.
love that.
It scares me. Like I don't like that. But I don't know. Again, who are the people that go up in these
Who are the
umbrellas and these balloons or
Or
the umbrellas
umbrellas.
like Mary Poppins? Either way, who is going up? Are you going to go up in one of those balloons?
I would go up in a balloon more. Like I would be more likely to do that than like Tower of Terror.
Would you ride in a hot air balloon?
Yeah, I would ride in a hot air balloon. People
You
do that all
would?
the time. Sure, why not?
Oh my
That
god!
looks fun.
I feel like I don't even know you. I just think of Wizard of Oz or like Lost when Ben, Henry Gale, whatever,
Oh, yeah.
Ben
But
Linus.
he didn't really do that, right?
He made it look like he did. He made it look like he was at like a World's Fair, and his balloon flew off course. By the way, what a great intro to a character.
Yeah, that was great.
Such great writing on that show until the end. Then the end, I was like, what happened?
I know.
Were they dead the whole time or not? I know the answer. Don't tell me. We don't have to go into a Lost recap. Oh, by the way, spoiler alert.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry.
Sorry, guys.
If you wanted to get into Lost.
Don't
Well,
bother.
I didn't spoil it at all.
No, you didn't.
I did spoil the Ben part, though.
That's true.
If you believe that his name, what is it, David Gale? Henry Gale?
Henry Gale.
Henry Gale. David Gale was a Kevin Spacey movie.
So that's different.
The Life of David Gale. Yeah, this is Henry Gale, which, again, Dorothy Gale, Henry Gale is Uncle
that's
Henry.
the dad's name, right?
Yeah, it was just a
uncle's
great,
name?
the
Whatever.
uncle's name. Yeah, Uncle
Oh.
Henry. Just brilliant writing on the part of the Lost writers for that. But anyway, if I get on a hot air balloon, that's all I would think of. Is the winds are going to take me. I'm going to end up in Oz
I
or
mean, I
in the
get what
ocean
you're saying.
somewhere.
Again,
in the
it's
ocean.
definitely a control thing, right? Like,
Definitely dead in the ocean.
Yeah.
Or the worst part is the balloon lands in the ocean and I just float there until I'm dead.
Oh my gosh.
Because I
You know how to
can't.
swim, right?
Not in the middle of the ocean. Where are you going to go? We're going to wait for a ocean liner to come pick me up. All laying on the balloon in a basket. All dehydrated and sunburned.
You're in the basket.
Anyway. All right, Ames. Thank you so much again for coming on and doing another show.
Thank you for sharing all your irrational
Yeah.
fears
Oh, yeah.
and most of mine. And
Now,
thank you for having me.
Oh, yeah. He totally exposed us both. Now, if anybody wants to kind of, know how to get under our skin, now they know. It's
Absolutely.
every fear that we ever had was exposed in this
If you
episode.
don't want to get under our skin, stay away from doorknobs.
Doorknobs are scary. Hot air balloons are scary. What else did we mention that we were afraid of?
Flying.
Flying, buzzards or vultures in
Yes.
tuxedos. Anyway, Ames, you're the best. Thanks again.
Thank you so much.
And that is going to do it for this week's episode of the Ear to There Disney podcast. Thank you once again to my wife, the one, the only, the lovely Amy Liz. Another fun one this week with Ames, so thank you, Ames. Thank you to Bob Gurr yet again. Thank you to Matthew Thomas for sending in a question. And thank you so much for listening to yet another episode of the show. I really hope you enjoyed this one. I love the Halloween episodes. They're a lot of fun to do. And listen, sitting for an hour talking about Disney attractions, come on. Can you beat it? I don't think so, as Kevin McAllister said in Home Alone. Speaking of, we're going to have to do some Christmas shows coming up. Man, can't believe it's coming up that soon. Anyway, thank you so much for listening yet again. You were awesome. Just remember, there will be a new episode of the show each and every Monday, as well as an It's a Food World or a Word of the Week on Thursday. So until next time, thank you so much. I know I said thank you a lot, but thank you again for listening. Have an awesome week. Bye-bye.
Ear to there.